the SLY Guy.
Hello and welcome to the SLY Guy podcast with me, Dave Elliott. We're back again in the lockdown cave once again. Hopefully things will change soon. We'll be able to get back in the studio because I, for one, am sick of looking at my face like this. I'm sure a lot of people watching on the YouTube channel are probably going, oh no, it's him again. And it's not as good quality as it is in the studio, blah, blah, blah. I feel you. So to try and address that, I bought a new microphone. So hopefully now this new mic will make my voice sound nicer. So if you're listening to me in your earphones, you're like, oh, that sounds very sexy, Dave. I like that you've invested a little bit in the quality of the podcast. Now, people are probably going to go, oh, that's just because, during lockdown, he needs to up his quality. No, I'm sacking the snake rat as well. I'm making sure he's still in the streets, and that's it. No, only joking. He's integral. But I've got a new mic, and I'm excited. Hopefully it sounds good. Hopefully it looks nice too, because, again, that was a big problem when recording the podcast for video, was that I had this big old arm to get in the shot, and for a while I had like nuts and bolts just there or thereabouts. It didn't look very sweet. You can only see half of my face. It looked like a Terminator. This half was just all metal, and then the rest was just my handsome fat mush. So hopefully if you're listening on the recording here, you're having a nice time, you like the sound, it sounds good. Now again, I am not the producer of this podcast. I am merely the star. I am merely the gifted one, the chosen one of the podcast. I'm not the technology guy. That's Ben, Snake Rat Ben Harbinson. He's the one who normally does that. So if it doesn't sound good, blame him. I tried my best. I bought new equipment, and listen, I'm not a tech guy. I'm not a nerd. I have a life to live. It's fine. He's a nerd. I'm not. Whatever. But welcome to the podcast. Hope everybody is doing well. At the minute, I know it's probably quite boring, the same old thing. Oh, we're back in this setup again, miserable. Yeah, it is. It is what it is. But listen, we're trying to make the most of it. So I'm just looking at my phone there because I'm recording this on a Sunday afternoon. My children aren't with me. They're in the coal chamber. I mean, the coal bunker. But if you like Naughty's Rock, you know coal chamber. But I just checked a message from my dad because he's got the kids. At the minute, my dad and mum. So I'm worried that, if I get a text from him, I'm like, oh no, what are those two wee bastards doing? Because I know they're a nightmare. Unfortunately for me this week, my wife is sick, and I know a couple of weeks ago, I was giving off about her. I mean, fairly so, justifiably. She was being a piece of shit a few weeks ago. She wouldn't let me have any heat on, whatever else. She was bullying me. I said it in the podcast. She shouted at me about that. Whatever, that's fine. But with hindsight, I want to say, the way some like DUP guys kind of like go like, people get punished because it's God's will. That happened to someone because God chose it to happen to them. She now has an ear infection. And I mean, I'm not saying that she deserved that for not letting me have the heat on, but that's what a DUP would say. So many respects. Listen, she's got an ear infection, God love her. She's not feeling too good. By that, she's been laid up in bed for the last couple of days in a lot of pain. Hopefully she'll recover from that soon, because I've had to look after the girls by myself, and it's not been fun. I've got a 3-year-old and a 4-month-old, and combined, it sounds like a band introducing themselves on the X Factor. I'm a 3-year-old, I'm a 4-month-old, and together we are Jedward. But those two together are fucking nightmare. So big respect to anybody out there that may be a single parent or a sole custody of kids or whatever, because it's fucking hard shift. I am fucking wrecked. I had one all day Saturday looking after them, and to be fair, they were both good girls. And that's half the battle. If they're behaving, you think, oh, thank God for that. If they're naughty, you're stumped. This morning, naughty. There were 2 bad girls. Thankfully, we are bubbled up with my folks, so they're able to take them. So I said, listen, can you take these 2 cherubs for me, because I am beyond the end of my tether. When you're that angry that you're not angry. When you get so cross, you're just like, you're like a psycho. You're like, oh, hey, it's one of those days. It is what it is. That's when it gets worrying. And it was this morning. They were both shits. My 3-year-old was just repeating herself constantly, daddy, I want porridge, you don't want porridge, would you like me to bring you in some porridge? No, I don't want porridge. The other one was just lying on the ground screaming, and by the ground I mean on her change mat, because I mean I'm not that bad. But just got to the point where I was like, oh no, I can't cope with this anymore. These guys are putting my head away. So thankfully they're at my parents. Then I get a text from my dad. I think to myself, oh no, what have they done? I'm going to have to go and get these fuckers. But thankfully it's all under control. I think my dad just sent me a video of the baby just like lying on a mat, probably making some noise. You know what? Maybe we'll have a look, because she could be just aggressively crying. So let's make sure that I'm all right while I'm doing this. Yeah, she's playing with a rattle, as you can hear. Just keeping busy. Happy days. Happy days. She's behaving, which means I can leave her there a bit longer. Happy days. That's great. So yeah, I'm a little bit tired. You know, I'm a wee bit I'm a bit fatigued at the minute. You know, that's the main thing. I'm a bit fatigued, and I spoke a lot last week about being a hype beast, and a lot of people got in touch to say, listen, we want to be on the hype beast train with you. And I said, listen, there's plenty of carriages out back. Hop on board. We'll go on the hype beast train together. So once I finish recording this podcast, I am going to collect my kids on foot. They're not going to be on foot. My car is at my folks, but I'm going to walk along the coast, walk along the north down Bangor coast, just basically to scout if there's any sea swimmers or anything, and then just take those guys out, and then, you know, like a Russian spy, just take out all the sea swimmers, and then get my kids, drive them home, and then hopefully it'll be close to bedtime and I get a break, because I love working all week and then having to look after the kids all weekend and then working. It's great. It's what you want with life, isn't it? So, I mean, what is better? So I'm going to go get my steps in. I'm hoping it'll probably be a lot of steps, because it's down the whole way through Bangor onto the coastal path, along the coastal path, and then like Helens Bay direction. So, I mean, it'll be some decent steps, but I'm looking forward to it. Going to listen to some podcasts on the way around, maybe some motivational music, and just get the high knees up in the air. Just go for it, have a great time, and just enjoy a bit of me time. You know, just have some time to myself, have some thinking time, and just look forward to it. You know, because I think obviously this has been a tough old time, and it's carrying on to March now, and this week has been so shit with weather. You know, that's made it even more difficult. See, when you're stuck at home with kids and you can't take them anywhere. So any parents out there, big respect to you guys, because it is challenging, you know. And again, I'm just thinking, hopefully things will be changing for the better soon. We'll be able to get it, at least hot weather. I was listening, again, this is how you know you become an old, boring guy. I was listening to the weather last night intently to see what's going to be happening over the next couple of days. Because, like, how can I plan the kids? Then they're on being like, listen, there's going to be a cold Scandinavian storm wind coming in from the north, and it's going to hit, and it's like, I'm going, please go to the west, please go to the west. It's going to be hitting the east coast. Bollocks! That's me. So I'm like, if we don't get the kids doing something, as long as it doesn't rain ideally, but if we don't get them doing something, we're fucked. Because that's my life now. My life is just a constant daily battle of exhausting children. You know, if I can just, once my kids are awake, get them tired enough to go to sleep, that's all you want. You know, they're like, what is parenting to you? And people are like, that's the greatest gift. The greatest gift ever is being able to get the fuckers to sleep. That's the greatest gift in the world. Like, see, I wish I was like some sort of Uri Geller, David Copperfield motherfucker that could just go, whoo, and the kids would go to sleep. Bingo. And that would be my life. Now, if I could get that skill and get them down, that'd be great. Now, my kids just don't sleep during the day. They just like to be awake all day and like to be entertained. You know, to be fair, they are mine, and that's a very me type thing. I'd often describe myself as a dog, you know. Oh, is he a big dirty dog, big dirty bastard? No, but like a dog, as in dogs love attention. They all get excited to see people. They like cuddles. Well, that's me. Whereas my wife would be more like a cat. She just likes to do her own thing. Like, don't touch me, you fucking dirty bastard. You know, that sort of thing. So like my kids are quite like me, as in they just love attention all the time. My 3-year-old is the funniest person I have ever met in my life, and being a comedian, you meet some funny people, but she just cracks me up, says some ridiculous things, again says some things that you go, oh no, I gotta stop using that word. For example, we were going out again just today to leave her to my folks, and I was getting her in the car, and she was standing at the door, got her wee welly boots on, her coat and everything. She's standing at the door, and she goes to me, "Daddy, open this bloody door." And I went, trying not to laugh, but I know fine well she's got that from me. Oops. So that was that. Now, the biggest mug off of all time she hit me with this morning. I was in the shower, get myself ready for the day. You're probably looking at this if you're watching on the YouTube, which, by the way, subscribe to the channel and you get to see all the videos of the podcast as well. You get to look at my beautiful face, which will be back in the studio hopefully from March. But if not, listen, just enjoy it while I'm in my dining room with my ye old Atlas map behind me. It's probably not an Atlas map because an Atlas is a book, it's just a map with a dickhead. But I was in the shower, getting myself ready, so my beard, it's shaved, it's looking tidy. I was getting ready, I was in the shower, mind my own business. I'm all washed, my hair's washed, my beard's washed, a bit of conditioner in there, just letting the water beat down on me, all good. I think I get out, I need to tidy up with a bit of a shave. So I'm having a shave. At this point, I'm in the bathroom by myself. There's no one else there. I'm just naked, I'm standing there, mind my own business, shaving. My 3-year-old comes in. And now it's awkward in and of itself. You're like, I don't want the kids to see me in the nip. It's still, you feel slightly weird. My 3-year-old walks in and just looks directly at my piece and goes to me. You can see in her wee face, she was confused. She looks at us like, she goes, "Daddy." And when she says, "Daddy," with that sort of tone rising at the end, you know there's going to be a quick, "Daddy." I said, "Yes, love." She goes, "Why's your twinkle grey?" And I went, first of all, you have to acknowledge when somebody is accurate about something. And yes, now I'm at that age now where it's grey. That happens. You reach a certain age, the colour dies. If I was to describe the colour of it, I would compare it to a turret at an olden castle. Like, not, way castles can be like shined up and made look real like modern and cool. It's like Dunluce Castle. It's grey and there's a slight green hue to it as well. Alright, it's seen better days. It's a zombie deck. It used to be alive and it's dead now. Alright, so I get that. That's fair. I go, yeah, and you don't have an answer. I just sort of said, oh well, just that's just the way it is. Now can you fuck off and let me shave in peace? But that was fine. Grey, I acknowledge, say fair point, well made, I get you. But here's where the question start getting offensive, where I start going, oh, that makes me feel bad, is that she's obviously a little girl, and whenever you have a little girl, you don't want to be, really calling their bits and bobs by whatever anatomical names are, because that's weird in my opinion. So if we nickname, so what her wee bits are, which she refers to it as, is her twinkle. So for her to come in and see me in the nip and think I have a twinkle, she thinks I have a vagina that's grey. That's a problem. As a man, this area is called your manhood. So when you have a little girl who doesn't know how to lie, she doesn't say. You shouldn't think about it. She says, which it's like she's just on catchphrase. You say what you say. If you say it, say it. So she's looking at it. There's no issue. She's just literally saying, like, if she sees a ball, oh, there's a ball. Oh, look, there's a train. Oh, look, there's a car. It's a cow. She sees what you see. So she walks into me, sees my piece, and thinks it's a vagina. That's a problem. That's a problem. So she's walking in going, that. There's nothing. There's that. He doesn't like. She doesn't go in and go, what's that? Like. Looks, Daddy, is that a sausage? No, she walks in and thinks it's a vagina. Bad moment for me and my self-confidence. Bad moment. Thankfully, on the bright side, I've got a couple of kids. I'm married. I don't really need it anymore. Probably after that, I'm going to just go cut it off myself, and it wouldn't take too much, obviously. But that was a moment when my 3-year-old thinks I am a woman based on how small my penis is. And that's how my day's been going, guys. So that's the final insult after what has been a stressful weekend. So not only do I look like I have a vagina, I also feel like I'm going balder than ever before. My hair is growing, but there's just nothing coming out of certain holes in my head. So it's a big issue. So now I need to just decide, do I take it off or do I keep it? And the more this lockdown goes on, the more there's a voice in my head going, shave your head, mate. And then the only problem is like what they do with the beard. How do I fade the beard into just still being fully a beard, you know, with a shaved head. I don't want to go bald, but like probably like a 1 or a 2. But then I need to fade that in. So that's what's stressing me out, because I don't want to shave the head, then have to shave the beard, then just look disgusting. And then I feel even worse in and of myself, because I already feel bad enough because I don't look like I've got a dick. So if I'm bald with no beard, no dick, I just give up. I'll just go walking into the sea. Maybe now when I'm doing my walk after I finish this podcast, I might just go into the sea, you know, kill a few sea swimmers on the way, but we'll not worry about that. We'll just go straight in, go there, have a good time, and then it's all over. No one can insult me anymore. You know, that's where it's at. On the bright side, at least I'm still dieting and exercising and feeling better in and of myself. So although my confidence and my you know, belief in my own self as a man is totally diminished and totally destroyed, at least I feel healthier. You know, at least I'm not like super fat, big, lazy, knackered bastard. Like, so I'm feeling like I'm dying inside and all mentally. At least mentally I'm destroyed, and physically I'm feeling good. Because if it was both, oh no, it's a problem. But that's where we're at. It's the beauty of having kids. You know, kids are just little, honest pieces of shit that make you feel terrible constantly, whether it's through lack of sleep, lack of, you know, looking after your house that you put loads of effort into making. I'm a bloody homemaker and they destroy it. And last but not least, just insulting you as well. So she thinks I've got a grey Twinkle and also a Christmas. We were reading the book The Grinch That Stole Christmas, and we're sitting reading through it. I'm just going, you know, obviously Dr. Zeus is like, the Grinch is green, you have a gene, blah, 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 you know, because he rhymes everything. And we're sitting reading that, and she goes, Daddy. And I went, why are you using this stuff? Please, no. Just keep it, you know, in your head. You're going, just don't say it, because you know when you go, Daddy, it's going to be something insulting. So I said, yes. She goes, Daddy, why have you got a big belly like the Grinch? You motherfucking milk-toothed bastard, like what he... Ooh, and I was like, because the Grinch has 2 ungrateful daughters that make his life hell. That's why, alright, you fucking dick. And then to be fair, the Grinch doesn't have anything down there either. He wears clothes in his upper half, but it's just naked down below, so it looks like he's got a green twinkle, but we'll not worry about that. So that's what I've been at, just looking after the kids, being insulted by them, and then now I'm going to go for a big long walk, which in my head's going to be great, but, you know, now I think about it, it might take me 4 hours, I might be exhausted, but it is what it is, and we'll have a lot of fun with it, you know, and I'm hoping I hit all my steps, and I hope that means I can have a nice big Sunday dinner, and all will be well with the world, you know, that hopefully that's going to be the thing that's going to make me a little bit more cheery, because it has been a bit of a tough week, and then somebody sent me a message saying that I was being, what was the word they used? That I was excessive. They said I was excessive on my podcast. You're a bit excessive. Listen, if you do not like this, don't listen. This podcast is called the SLY Guy Podcast, so sometimes I may be a bit excessive. Now, was the person that messaged me a sea swimmer? Obviously, because there's nothing better to do, and their brains are probably infected by the sewage that they're swimming in, saying it's so salty and so amazing. It's so salty and amazing. Fuck up. You know, so I got that saying you're excessive, and I just wanted to say, you know what? Yes, sometimes this podcast can be a bit excessive. Am I going to apologise for that? No. It's the SLY Guy Podcast. That's what I do. It's a comedy podcast. We're having a silly time. We're being a little bit excessive. Yes, is there a degree of performance art? Yes. Am I the Michael Stone of podcasts? Maybe. Now people are probably going, what do you mean about Michael Stone? What I will say, remember, he went up to Storm and he tried to get through the door and he got like arm locked by that old woman. That was art. He said, look, I wasn't actually going to go and try and kill someone. I was a performance art piece. So me, on this podcast, I'm a performance artist. So here's some performance for you people who think you can message me and say I'm excessive. Suck my balls and dick. Have that as a performance piece. And there you have it. And by the way, if you want to crop that particular quote and just, you know, use it for anybody giving you shit in your life, feel free. If your boss in work's giving you some jip, cut that and just send it to them as an email attachment. Have that. That's the message you want. If your wife's giving you some jip, your husband's getting in your head, you know, just your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whatever, your 3-year-old kid's abusing you, just send them a wee JPEG of that. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunts, and let's just keep riding this excessive train till the wheels fall off, which could be any day now, because I'm sure there's probably a back catalogue of cancelable comments on this. What a word, cancelable. So there we have it, guys. That's what I've been up to this week. I feel like I have been chatting an awful lot about silliness, and I feel like my general mood it is a bit lower since I got insulted by my 3-year-old, but we will get past that. And I just want to talk a little bit about my Patreon as well. We've launched a new serial killing a podcast over there. Now, there's some changes that we actually should have been looking in. I've been trying to make a few changes to Patreon. So from this week, if you want to get over to Patreon, you can subscribe to a lower tier for £2. So I'm going to make it £2. You can come over there. You can get all the bonus podcast content. You can watch the serial killing a podcast, listen to it, whatever, and get a few other extra things. Now, there's still tier above for the original SLY hards, that if you want to be one of those guys, it's $4.50. That's again your choice, but I wanted to take a lower tier in to allow more people to get behind it, so we can keep expanding the podcast. The more people on board, the merrier, because that's the thing. We've got a new mic here, got a new arm. I want to be as in for the mic, but that's the worst joke ever, I'm sorry. But I want to, whenever things change a bit, is to be able to do the serial killing a podcast with guests in the studio as well. So hopefully I can get another mic and everything will be good in the world. Because that's what I use the Patreon for, basically, is putting back into the podcast what I feel is necessary to keep it growing anyway. So at the minute on Patreon, you're going to have the 2 tiers now. So if you're a pre-existing patron, you want to drop down, no hard feelings. If you're not and you're thinking about it and you thought the $4.50 was a bit much, obviously you're Trump, that's fine, but you can still get off for the lower rate. It's all good. We all welcome it together. We're a community. We're all teams. Come on in together. You can get extra bonus podcast every week on video and audio. You get the Sly Guy serial killing a podcast, which is, I don't know why I said Sly Guy there, because it's just serial killing a podcast, which is going to be 12 episodes there over the next 12 weeks, and then there'll be a wee break, and then more episodes depending on how it's received. So far so good. A lot of people have been in touch enjoying the first episode with Shane Todd. So this week there's an episode with Kieran Bartlett coming out. So what's not to love? What's not to love about that? And that's what we're doing. So we're working hard over there. We're having a nice time. I'm getting ready for my walk. It's not all that bad. Things will be okay. We'll get there, and I just got to get my kids again, and they're going to do my head in even more. But we'll cope. Listen, it's a pandemic. There's worse things out there. But when the pandemic's over, I forgot to talk about this in the podcast a couple of times, and it's annoying. But I am doing a brand new show in the famed Ulster Hall on Friday, December 17th, 2021. Tickets to the show are moving well. I'm delighted about it. I want to get the tickets sold out as soon as I can, so we can start opening the balcony, and then I don't have to talk about it in the podcast every week because there'll be no tickets left. We can just focus on other things. We can all have a real great time on the 17th of December. So the tickets are available on the Ulster Hall website. If you follow me on social media, the links are all over it. So you just go to my Twitter, my Facebook, my Instagram, which on Facebook and Twitter is Dave Elliott Comedy. Or no, on Facebook and Instagram, it's Dave Elliott Comedy. On Twitter, it's the Dave Elliott, because Dave Elliott Comedy is too long a handle, apparently, for Twitter. What the fuck? So that's where we're at over there. So please get your tickets to that. The show's coming together nicely in terms of writing. It's written in my head. I just need to put it on paper. Tested for length, which is something, again, you guys know I struggle with, because I've got a wee man Twinkle, so don't worry about that. But the tickets are going well for that, and I'm excited. And just make sure you get yours, because again, I want all the people that listen to this podcast to come, because it's going to be a great time. Support's going to be from my little man friend Aaron Butler. Don't know why I call him a man friend, but I like it. It sounds sexy. It sounds unique. So I'm all for that. And then we can just have a nice time. And as well, if you like the podcast, please rate and review it, because that always helps too. We've got a load of, I think I'm at 183 reviews now. If I could get up to 200, I would maybe do something. If you're the 200th person to rate and do a review in the podcast, you'll get a wee something. You know, I don't know why I did that look creepy, but you can enjoy it anyway. Speaking of things you can enjoy the sponsors of the podcast too. And it is brought to you, as usual, by Bebe Adriano's Mexicanos, who provide good quality food using only the freshest local produce. Everything at Bebe Adriano's in Bangor is prepared and cooked from scratch on the premises with burritos, fajitas, salad bowls, and special box meals. There is something for everyone. All healthy. Well, not all healthy. There's healthy options, but it's not all healthy. Some of it's fucking filthy, but it's delicious, and that's all that matters during these tough times. If you want what I would recommend, if I'm going to Bebe Adriano's on a cheat day, because you know I'm a height guy, I'm a physique guy, and I'm a height beast, so I'm looking after my body right now. Not my head, because it's fucking turned, but apart from that, all good. If you want to get a cheat day like me, what I have is the Dirty Cock and Cow box. I mean, it's just beef and a big schlong. No, it's actually sweet potato fries, Mexican chicken, marinated steak, peppers, onions, dressed lettuce, sweet corn salsa, tomato salsa, and a choice of sauce, which for the big man is smoked paprika. Why would you try anything else? If you haven't already tried Bebe Adriano's, what are you waiting for? Get their app from the App Store and get 10% off your first order. It's that easy. Or if you want to just ring them up and get a wee delivery or takeaway, hit them up on 028 9147 9988. That's 028 9147 9988. The Sly Guy podcast is also brought to you in association with Manscaped. Listen, guys, you know what Manscaped is by now. They've been sponsoring the podcast for a long time, and they make sure that my little grey man Twinkle is tidy. They've got the Lawnmower 3.0, which is the third generation balls trimmer with an LED light so you can see what's going on down there. So if you're like me with a small piece and you can't see what's going on, you need a light to find your dick. It's there. It's great. You trim it right down. It's got a ceramic blade so you don't nick or snag your bag, which nobody wants to do. Nobody wants to give themselves a wee tidy up trim and end up just ripping their scrot to shreds. You know, you don't want to be, like, you wouldn't let a pit bull lick your balls, would you? Well, maybe some people would. Maybe people would actually, you know, put peanut butter on their cock and balls and say they're Rottweiler, eat me! But I'm not one of those guys. I like to be gentle down there, and I like my razor to be gentle too. Now, I've tried other razors. I've tried Bics. Like, no disrespect to Bic, and don't sue me, but like, you know, one of those orange Bics without any shaving cream once, and my God, it was a disaster down there. An absolute disaster. It looked like I had got carpet burns on my bag, and nobody needs carpet burns on their bag. But Manscaped are really pushing a fresh start in 2021 with a nice shave cock and balls, and what a better way to just launch into this tough year and just see out the pandemic than just getting your balls and dick shaved real nice. And you can get a real total treatment with their Perfect Package 3.0, which is all the right tools for the job. You can come out of quarantine with clean balls thanks to Lawnmower 3.0. You can also freshen up down there with the Crop Preserver, which is an anti-shaving ball deodorant and also an anti-chafing ball deodorant if you want to be pernickety. You can also get an on-the-go freshness with some Crop Reviver ball toner spray. Like, why have wrinkles in your balls? Why do people just still in 2021 just walk around with a ball bag? It looks like a pensioner's neck. You don't want that. I'm going to start getting collagen injections in my balls. Oh, that's right. I don't need collagen injections in my balls because I use the Crop Preserver and I use the Crop Reviver from Manscaped. So guys, if you're looking to just have that party, get the Perfect Package 3.0 now. It also comes with super comfortable non-chafing boxers, which I'm wearing right now. I would show you, but I'm feeling really self-conscious about how small my piece is thanks to my 3-year-old. But hey, listen, get on manscaped.com and get 20% off and free shipping when you use the code SLYGUY at checkout. That's all caps SLYGUY at manscaped.com. It's 20% off, free shipping. Whether it's for yourself, whether it's for your dad, your brother, your uncle, your sister, your mother, your wife, your cousin, just some fucking guy across the street that you might look at and go, you look like you've got too much of a bush there, Mr. Johnson, which is also a name for a cock. Well, what a creative mind. Get there at Manscaped. Get the ballsiest gift ever. Shave your piece, shave your balls, have the time of your life. Manscaped.com. Discount code, all capitals, Sly Guy. The Sly Guy podcast, as always, is brought to you in association with Modest Beer. Modest are an independent brewery crafting small batch beers for discerning drinkers. Brewed and canned at Hollywood, County Down, Modest are on a journey with one clear goal in mind. That is to bring exceptional brews to the local craft beer market. Modest aren't here to revolutionise the craft beer movement. Nah, they're just here to add to it with a brand that's joyous, responsible, honest, and of course, Modest. If you're keen to know more, contact Modest Beer on Instagram, Facebook or Twitter at Modest Beer, or visit www.modestbeer.co.uk to find the nearest stockist. My main man Stevie Nice this week put a wee tweet up. He tried the stout. I recommended it last week. He bought the Modest stout. He enjoyed it. You know, this is what we're about. He put a tweet out and he was like, listen Dave, I enjoyed this. Modest enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Everyone's enjoying it. So try Modest Beer. You will not be disappointed. If Davey recommends, you know it's going to end up well for you. Listen, that's what it's going to be. It's going to be some... What I mean, listen, if you just used all my sponsors at once, what a weekend you'd have. A clean cock and balls, a dirty cock and cow, and a few Modest stouts to wash it down. Bingo. There you go. You're on the winner. You're having a time of your life. That's what it's all about, guys. Speaking of time of your life, let's get into listeners' questions. Let's tear it up. Dempster has said... Alright, Davey boy, a question about Papa Bear himself. How did it come about you first performing stand-up? Kind of want to know how it led to you doing your first stand-up gig in front of an audience, and were you not shitting yourself? Cheers. Well, Dempster, before I did stand-up, was in a sketch group called FNT Live, which stands for Friday Night Therapy, which is definitely not in any way a rip-off of Saturday Night Live. We'll not go there. And that sort of got me into the comedy, really. I've always kind of enjoyed being... here's the thing, I like to make people laugh. I like to contribute to people having a nice time. It gives me a nice feeling inside. It gives me a buzz. So whenever I had the opportunity to join a sketch group, at first it was a bit like, you know, you're probably going, I mean, do I want to be like one of these wee amateur dramatic guys? And at the time I was like, you know what, we'll give it a go. It looks like a lot of fun. I joined FNT. I've met some friends for life through there. It was great fun. Then I went to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival in 2012, baby. In 2012, I sort of became friends with a few of the like local stand-ups. So like the Mickey Bartlett, Shane Todd, Sean Hegarty. And it was just really through sort of being in that scene, socialising with people, that like I was around stand-up more. And then whenever FNT stopped being, because again, it wasn't a bad breakup, but there was just too many people in the group by the end, and it just sort of was a bit higgledy-piggledy. We all went our own ways, and when that happened, you know, Shane, Sean, and Mickey were like, you should try stand-up. And I was like, I don't know. You know, I don't know if I'll be very good at it. But I've always liked it, so I thought, you know what, I'll give it a go. And let's be fair to me, I did give it a go, and I was holy shit. I was the worst ever, and I didn't enjoy it. You know, like at the beginning, people were like, "Oh, did you?" No, I was shit, and I think why I didn't enjoy it was I knew at the beginning I was shit. You know, I think a lot of people, you know, that do stand up never would acknowledge that they're shit. You know, like I know certainly at an open mic level there needs to be something that you can progress or go, right, okay, how am I gonna get better? But if I'm bad, you need to be able to go, I'm shit, it's not for me. And I was bad, but the thing that sort of kept me at it was that it was like, I am not doing this right, but I know I can do it. You know, I know what I have to do. I just need to think of some bits. And then I came up with my first like actual bit and was like, this is how you write bits. Then when I did that, got big laughs. I'm like, I like this now. And I've just been loving it ever since. So it's just... It came about basically through, you know, through not doing sketches anymore. Decided to try stand up, and you know, in the following years I've got better at it, and I love it. You know, and like especially now during pandemic and lockdown, that I don't know why I said that weird, but I miss it. You know, and I'm excited about the big show I'm doing at the end of the year. I'm buzzing about that because I think each show that I've done has got better and better. And I think this one's going to be better again. So hopefully everybody who hasn't already will get a ticket and we can come and have a really good time, because I'm excited about doing it. But the very first gig I did, I was shit myself. Because it was in a very small room, probably as small as the dining room doing this podcast in. There was about 6 pensioners, and it was my first gig, and it was probably, I think it was like 25 when I did my first gig. So I was like talking about like stuff like Facebook and boring stuff. Like, who wants to talk about that shit? in this day and age. And then when I got there, it was like, oh, there's nobody in this audience who'll be on Facebook. So no one got it, no one liked it. I didn't get a round of applause. The MC like maybe clapped once at David Elliot, leave this town and never come back. But then I stuck at it, and here we are today. So it's all good. Helen has said, where's the first place you'd like to go for dinner/drinks when lockdown's over? Ooh. I mean, I'm a big Bangor fan in terms of places to go to eat and drink. I'm a big fan of Jamaica Inn. Probably if you're combining drinks and dinner, you'd want to go to the Jamaica Inn because the food in there is great and also nice drink as well. So probably there. I like the Esplanade for a drink as well. I haven't eaten there. I'm supposed to eat there on Christmas Eve. Pandemic, boring, cancelled. So yeah, it's probably somewhere local, you know. But yeah, I do like it. I must say, I'm a big Bangor fan. Like, I love living here. It's good. Part of the world. Jack Core has said, any MMA entrance song suggestions? Jack, you look from seeing your profile, you look like an MMA guy. You look like, you know, I'd be keen to know what your entrance theme is at the minute. What I would do if I were you would be, you know, obviously MMA is different than wrestling, so don't be offended by this. But in wrestling, they'd look at your name and be like, right, what you should do is, you know, join say your dad's Jim from the course. You know, the guy from the course who's just believes that Donald Trump is like going to cure the world of all pedophilia and whatever. Do that and then just come out to the course. You know, just come out to, you know, we are so young now, we are so young, so young. That would startle people. Like people in the octagon would be like, the fuck's this guy coming out? And then they'd be like, think you're a weirdo, and then you just kick their head off. Boom. Feeling that, you want to come out to something hard, some like Sepultura or something, just get aggressive. I mean, weird name, Believe with all the E's and V's. I mean, tell us your real name and I can read it out properly. I said, being asked to slow dance back in the day, that's a topic. You know, here's the thing for you as a lady, I think it's probably something that the girls are asked to do more than boys. I mean, I don't recall ever being asked to slow dance because, again, I've always been just this big, weird-looking guy. So, I mean, people are probably like, do you want to, like, I would ask you to slow dance, but you might stand on my feet and then I'd end up with seriously damaged metatarsals. It'd be troublesome. So, you know, you don't want to be at that. But, yeah, slow dancing was something pretty, like, that was a big deal back in the day at school discos. Slow dances were very important. You know, it gave you a lot of anxiety. You'd either go and you'd just get your balls out, not literally but figuratively, and you just go to a girl you fancied and be like, you fucking, you love it, don't you? And then that's how the slow dance would happen. Feeling that, you go to the tuck shop and just like buy Coke and eat, you know, also the beverage, and you know, just eat loads of pick a mix and just cry by the lockers. But I mean, that's what it would either be. You get the slow dance or you would be heartbroken. Con Austin has said, have you seen the now viral Paris Zoom meeting that went into total meltdown? Honestly, the funniest thing I've seen all week. If not, search for No Authority Jackie Weaver. No, I did see that. I saw this Jackie Weaver incident online where basically what I think it is there's some council meeting in England and Jackie Weaver has for some reason been chosen as like the chair to this meeting, right? She's like the one with the Zoom link, which in this day and age is a big deal. So she is in this, she's like checking everybody's, you know, connected, which obviously you see nowadays is, you know, what Zoom meetings are awkward with connections. Are you there? Are you at all this stupid stuff? So people are coming together on this, like, so and so there, yep. And you just hear someone go, fuck's sake, which I enjoyed in the background. Now, having done that on a call, at one point, I feel sorry for whoever that guy was. A guy was in a call once, and my screen kept stalling, and I went, what the fuck is this shit? I thought I was out of it. I wasn't, you know, and when I leant forward with full face, awkward. So it already kicks off. This one old fuck of a guy starts being like, are you the sheriff or something? Are you the chairman? Do you have authority to do this? And this woman, Jackie Weaver, it's chairing the meeting, was like, oh, well, it's put in place because the chairman can't be here. No, you're not qualified to do this. She's like, well, the thing about it is I've been asked to do it. Legally, you shouldn't be doing this. And Jackie Weaver's like, look, legally, schmegally, I'm here. I'm following what I've been told to do. Let me be. And he goes, no, this is illegal, blah, blah. Next thing you know, line goes dead. People are like, what happened to the chairman? Jackie Weaver's like, he's rude. So fucking took him out of the meeting. Have some of that, you dirty bastard. So then next thing you know, she's like, right, we need to appoint a new chairman. Then some wee weasel guy, again, weird that he's with another guy. So for backup, he's raging. He's like, I'm the chairman. I'm the deputy chairman. So if the chairman's not here, I'm the chairman. And she was like, By this point, Jackie Weaver's getting as Stormzy would say, too big for the boots. So he's going, I'm the chairman, we don't need to elect the chairman. Line goes dead. Jackie Weaver's like, fuck this, you're out too. I may have just been appointed to run this meeting, but again, you can suck the back of them. So out they go. Then everybody else is just starting to give in. Some other guy's like, this is illegal what you're doing. And Jackie's like, fucking gone. Beep. Just taken out, Night of the long keyboards for Jackie, just clearing people out, L, R, and C. Then once those fucking hateful bastards are gone, the rest of them like, yeah, can I just apologise to Jackie Weaver for how those fucking rude bastards were speaking, which is fair, she deserved an apology. And then the meeting carries on. They're like, well done, Jackie. And now Jackie's popping off and she's a major celeb, and those guys are probably going to get some sort of action against them for being fucking hateful, bullying C next Tuesdays. Mark has said, can you name 6 countries starting with the letter S? Saudi Arabia, South Korea, Scotland, Spain, Serbia and Slovenia. Fuck you. Making reference to my performance on the radio this week, which, by the way, if you listen to the Ray of Lockdown, I get mugged off every week because producer Dan is the producer of Shane's podcast as well as the radio show, and he always gives Shane the answers, and all of a sudden they're always geared towards stuff he wants to talk about or they've talked about in the podcast. Then whenever I have to answer, I get the two of them. I feel like Jackie Weaver, get two of those guys ganging up on me going, oh, answer, while Shane's going, oh, you want me to name a country beginning with S, do you? Which is just killing time while he tries to think, and it's stupid to be fish-like head. And why has he got a fish-like head? I don't know, because it's very thin when you look at it this way, but it turns that way. It's long, weird. So he gets more time to think, and I get pressured, and he gets the answers. It's BS, it's a fix, and I'm not having it. Ask me some actual general knowledge, not stupid fixed lists of letters. I'm fucking alphabet guy. I'm a genius, alright? So fuck you, producer Dan, Shane, and also you now too, Mark. Stephen O'Flynn, Irish legal legend, has said, what gives you the best buzz while you're doing a gig /pod, and do I get tickets to your next outdoor gig? Steve, absolutely. Next time we can do an outdoor gig, you can, because I got one of your old shirts and I love it. What gives me the best buzz? Well, you're probably doing a gig because there's an audience reaction. When you're doing a podcast, it can also be a lot of fun, but you don't get that instant feedback that you do from doing a live show, so it doesn't have the same buzz about it. But I love podcasting too, and hopefully it's like the content and this new mic and all goes well, and it's nicer for people's ears. The sensei said, yo beastie, just wondering what you feel is the most effective form of contraception, condoms, the pill, or your trail shoes. Very funny. My trail shoes are not popular with my wife, but I think the biggest contraception in the world is get married, because once you do that, the rest just doesn't happen. It's sweet, you know what I mean? There you go. It's, if you want contraception, get married, so that would be my recommendation. But other than that, I wouldn't be one to be giving advice on that topic, as I have one bastard child. So I'm not the authority on that, really. So there you have it. But thanks for the question and listening. Getting the trail shoes on about half an hour here, hitting the coast and going to collect the childer, so I'm excited about that. Wee Jimmy, will you please redo Nordy Shore Rat? I don't know. I am not against the idea of doing something about that, but I don't think everybody else involved would do it, so probably not. And again, I don't think I would want to wear the fake tan anymore. I'm too bald to stick my hair back. So, I mean, maybe something could be done down the line at some point, I guess. You know, Alex said, "Have you seen the Paddy Raff show? And if so, what's your opinion on it?" I mean, I have been told a couple of things growing up by my family, you know, by bits of advice here, bits of advice there. My granny she was the wise older head of my family, and my granny had two pieces of advice that she would say. The first piece of advice was, it's not the size, it's the weight ramen at home that counts. And second was, if you've got nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. Phyllis said, what do you reckon about Steven Seagal shooting himself in the foot again and promoting a massive crypto scam? The man is a walking meme. Well, listen, more you than me for saying Steven Seagal is a walking meme, Phil, because Steven Seagal would kill us both. He is the world's most dangerous man. Now, people are probably going, no, don't be silly. Steven Seagal's just a guy with really shit hair. No, he is a human weapon. If you have Steven Seagal on your team, you do not need nuclear weapons, because Steven Seagal is a weapon. I don't know what he's done. Let me read it. Oh no. 3 people have been charged in the US over cryptocurrency scams, one of which was promoted by famous Hollywood actor Steven Seagal. Oh no, he's been mugged. The main promoter of the schemes has already been arrested and is facing criminal charges. Let's see what Seagal's done here. The B2G token was offering was also promoted by famous actor Steven Seagal. In February 2020, the SEC charged Seagal with unlawfully touting B2G tokens, alleging that the actor failed to disclose that he was promised $250,000 in cash and $750,000 worth of B2G tokens in exchange for his promotions. Seagal subsequently settled the charges. Listen, Seagal's just been done there. They've basically gone, listen, Steven, would you take $1 million? And he's gone, aye, what do you want me to do? Anything. But Steven Seagal is the number one martial artist in the world. He's the number one hair transplant guy in the world. He's the number one actor in the world. He's also, the number one policeman, because he's a lawman. So, I mean, I'm not fucking with Seagal. Big respect for him. I know he's maybe not having the best time of it of late, and maybe that's why he's had to take, $1 million. Now, $1 million to me would be a big lot of money, but to Seagal, probably not. So, respect that he's done that. Respect to the man in the ice cream van. What a guy. And again, Stephen, if you want to come to the podcast, you are more than welcome. Speaking of the podcast, guys, that's it. We're all done for the day. So, just important, don't let your 3-year-old bully you. It's SLY, and also don't let Steven Seagal promote your business, because the guy's a fucking idiot. But yep, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my Patreon. There's a new tier now, so it's a bit cheaper. So if you want to get to see all the bonus podcast content, there's now 51 episodes of the podcast over there. We've got bonus stuff to look at too, as well as the new series, the Serial Killing of Podcast. So there's lots to see. Come on over, join the community, and we'll have a nice time. And also, more importantly, buy tickets to my show in the Ulster Hall. They're going like hotcakes. People are loving it. There'll be no lockdown by then. We'll have a wonderful time. So go on the Ulster Hall website or Ticketmaster and get your tickets there. And also just follow me on social media, because all the links are there. So there we go. That's that for this week. I'll see you next week, guys. Take care of yourself. Bye.
I'm the SLY guy.